about how big it was
Hello,
going
my
to be.
YouTube friends, and hi from Scotland.
This is the first part to be built, so it was built in a number of
This is our
phases
first
over that
tour,
70-year
and we're
period. This was
going
the
to
first
visit
part.
many
So
interesting
roughly from where the bus
places
station
today,
is,
including
running along this
Loch
direction.
Ness, Highlands, and so forth.
Not just because it was new, called the Norloch. They drained that when they built the new town.
On our way to Highlands, we are visiting a small town named Cranberries. It's a foggy morning today, but that's all right. I hope it will clear up when we approach the Loch Ness. And this is the place where highlands meet lowlands. The correct spelling of the name of the town, Cranberries. Cozy main street of this small town. Very old cemetery here.
Lowland lochs are white. So again, that's just the kind of geology that does that. Quite narrow but very, very deep. Most of getting.
The
You may not see it,
8,000
but
lochs
anywhere in
lakes
Scotland where
in
you stand,
Scotland.
you may not see the water, but you're probably very at this point. The white writing is obviously the Scottish version of names. The yellow is Gaelic. And for most of them,
Scotland Highlands, and in front of us is Loch Tulla, Tulle. Peat fields.
you're not going to heat your entire house from a peat fire, you know. Not these days, anyway. Your car there, and then there's the mountains. You know, there's no big hike to get to the mountains that you weren't used to fighting in, and trying to fight people who were used to fighting in this. Clan warfare, particularly the feuding variety, could be a very... But never mind all the death and all the blood. Over the next couple of months, how much water is going through it at the moment.
We stopped at this beautiful place. What they say about this place.
West of Scotland, you see how broken up the Atlantic coast of
Those
Scotland is.
lochs
The
are
west
connected
coast.
to the sea.
The entire length of it is like that, followed all the way into the town of Fort William.
We're still driving along this seawater lake. Beautiful view of the lake. This wall is the only thing that is left from Fort Williams. Fort William.
Need to keep soldiers here all the time after that point. So the fortified garrison buildings were just kind of allowed to fall into ruin, really.
We are now closer to the Loch Ness. Driving
You can sail
along
across
Loch
Scotland
Lochy.
from one coast to the other. Probably that, of course, is there are fish in the loch, but they say, well, there's not a population of
A canal that connects 3 lakes, and this way there is a water route across the Scotland, and Loch Ness is also connected to Loch Leche and the other third. This is a little note about Caledonian Canal. So the river Ness connects Loch Ness to the ocean, and the canal connects to the other lakes all the way there. Now we are going to take a cruise on Loch Ness, and this is our ship. Our journey on Loch Ness begins.
The North Sea and the Northeast.
The volume of water is enormous. All the water in England's lakes can fit into this lake, and all Earth's population can also fit into the volume of this lake. This landscape was created 13 million years ago with a huge earthquake. And they are now telling the story of the Loch Ness Monster. No science has proved that it exists, but the legend lives. They're going to do a presentation now.
Is our depth in feet. So feet or meters, whichever one you fancy. So what we're looking at here is basically Loch Ness without is around us.
We are turning around.
So basically, to follow the idea, that's a 5.4 meter length, and I've shown you one sonar contact of a living creature in the rock that size. And we are in the average depth of the sea. Look where we are. In the North Sea, the average depth of the sea is 90 metres. Around the UK, the average depth of the sea is 112 metres.
The waters are so dark, and they say because the content is a lot of peat that is coming from surrounding areas.
Subject media, you may have actually seen this, and again on the international news, in September last year. It's
a defensive structure. Some natives, known as Picts, built homes on islands.
The only island on
Not
Loch
only did these provide
Ness.
protection from wild animals and easy access for fishing, but they were also very easy to defend. A third of it was excavated by hand.
He's telling about the Caledonian Canal.
It took 3,000 men around 20 years to complete. It opened in 1822 and connects the North Sea to the Atlantic Ocean, using 29 locks, 10 bridges, and 4 aqueducts.
We will soon enter
The
the
canal
canal.
system enables boats to navigate different elevations from coast to coast, with the highest point being 32 metres or 106 feet above sea level. To the left of the canal entrance is Fort Augustus Abbey. Originally a Hanoverian fort, it was built in the early 18th century.
We get off the cruise, going to our bus. On our way back to Edinburgh, we stop here to see this Commodore Memorial and the mountains. The clouds really hide the highest mountain, but they are the highest mountains in England, UK. This Commodore Memorial is dedicated to the forces that participated in the World War II. At the store, And these are all samples of whiskey. And our last stop to Edinburgh. Scottish cows.